Choong Moo, here's some highlights of what I'm looking for as I'm watching in tournaments or at testing. From Choong Moo. First move, simple. It's simple enough. That square block we did at probably advanced green belt level with Wanyo, but now they're just doing it with open hands, right? So still the same motion. I'm pulling back here, and my hips are helping throw that block out. The next move is a little bit weird as I get ready. This hand, the top hand, draws across my forehead. The other hand goes out in front, palm up. They're both going to twist as I finish the next move. So I step forward. This hand turns into a high block. This one turns into a chop. So from here, that's the ready, step, chop. This one's at neck level. This one's a high block right above the head. This one's an easy one for students to get their hands mixed up as they're first learning this. So I'll run that first two moves quite a few times to make sure they're getting comfortable with it. Reach, turn block, or turn open, that's simple enough. Ready, step, spear, so this hand stays open, this one closes in front. Step, spear, this palm goes flat, pointed down. But again, it's like eye level, throat level. Somewhere I want to hit a soft target. Reach, open, hips pulling that across. Here's a good spot right here. When I do my closed fist from that block behind me, I'm bringing my back leg up, preparing for a side kick. All right? My personal preference as I'm doing this is when I get my foot up, lifted for a side kick, to point my heel at my target, at the person I'm getting ready to kick. I see people do this, and I'm not going to judge against them on this, but I prefer my students practice this way because in my head it's just smarter. I'm putting the barrel of my weapon aimed right at the bad guy in case they try to come in. All I got to do is push it straight out. Another way I've seen this is this foot pointed down to the ground, so when they do a side kick, they got to flip their foot out to the side. And that is easier, in my opinion, from my experience sparring. People that bring their leg up and point it down, I can bump rush into them a little bit, push my booty into them, I can jam their kick all day long without them hitting me. If they've already got their heel aimed at me, they can at least push off and push themselves away to get some more room, or they can, if they're quick enough, they'll push it out into me and stuff me with a good side kick. So that's my personal preference as I'm doing this part here. I want to see hips pull this. It kind of has a little bit, I don't want to say it's your body working against each other. It's kind of weird. Two different things happening here. I want my hips to pull this block, but I'm also kind of crunching my body as I do this a little bit. I do that because I want to have balance over this base leg. It'll be easier for your student if they're practicing at home and they're doing this move to not straighten that leg. If they straighten that leg, they'll find it easy to kind of fall one way or the other. If they bend over that base leg, and with some practice now, they'll find that becomes a little bit easier for them because bending it spreads the weight instead of over the heel of the foot where it likes to lie as I'm staying straight-legged. It spreads it over the ball of the foot, which is a little bit wider area. So that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm looking for me when I do it too. Bending that base leg, my heel pointed at that target behind me. Side kick, and hips helping me land that block at the same time that foot lands down, right? 2 steps, jump side. This is a little weird. I think we talked about this on the jump side kick video, but I'll do it again real quick. Jump side kick to look good, I need to be able to see that that bottom foot gets off the floor. I don't want to see just that where it looks like you got about an inch or 2 off. I prefer to see this foot tuck up underneath. So if you got one foot out here kicking, I'd like to see this one up here tucked. That makes a better photo op, that makes a better picture, and that shows the judges at tournament that you got up high, that you did an actual jump. I can't ever really always tell people just do that and leave one leg dangling down. Sometimes you miss it, sometimes you don't really see it, they just kind of went up on the ball of their foot or what. So I want it to be clear to all judges that I'm doing a jump side kick. Alright? I'm watching for that leg to tuck under. At the same time I'm watching, did they throw an actual side kick? Did their knee push that foot out? I don't want to see 2 steps and something that looks like a round kick or a flop. I want to see a side kick. So that's what I'm looking for there. If they've got they should hopefully, they got the control, the self-control to land on that base leg, re-reach, and then land that block, that'd be great too. That's what their goal is by testing time to get them ready for it. In order for that to happen, when they take those 2 steps, yes, they're moving toward the judges, toward the front, but that jump doesn't need to go forward, that jump needs to go up. That'll help the landing of that, be able to land it on that base foot without any extra weight or momentum pulling them forward or backwards. So I'm taking 2 steps, yes, jump side, then I'll land on that base leg. Get my balance again, land that block. Hips here. I want to watch and make sure that they've actually taken care to land in the back stance for that movement. That's the only low block in the back stance they've ever had so far, and I want to make sure they know it. Shift, grab, easy enough, we've done plenty of those. Smash together, ready. Still pretty simple. Step left, ridge right. If you're helping them practice at home, I say those words on purpose because I want them to remember we got opposites going out. It's my left leg stepping, my right hand is doing a ridge hand. So I make them say that over and over and over. Step left, ridge right. I'm watching for that hand to stay ridge hand. That means the thumb tuck's underneath the hand, not to the side of it. It's this part of the hand over here they're hitting with, making contact with. I'm watching that. I'm watching how it flicks out at the end. Right? A ridge hand doesn't need to swing like a haymaker kind of punch. It needs to go out right next to the target over here, and right at the last second, it flips and does the ridge. So I'm watching that, and I'm watching the shape of their body as they do this hand here. I like a good rectangle, a good solid rectangle as they make this form. If they're here, it looks too cluttered, not really strong enough to me. So that looks strong, stable, and supported. Round kick, spin, side kick in that next block. Again, I'm watching the same things I always do. I'm watching the position of their pivoting foot, their base leg as they pivot. I'm watching the position of their knee as they do their kicks and following it to make sure this one looks like a round kick. Back around, spin side to side kick, the knee pushed out and came back. Regather your balance. That way you land that block at the same time that foot lands. Same thing here on this round kick. That's a little weird. That round kick goes off at an angle, not necessarily straight in front of where they're facing when they're doing this block, kind of at a 45-degree angle here. So that one's a little weird. To do that, and then to unpivot, to land with my feet together so I can pull my hands for this block. But we'll work on that plenty in class. Here, as I step out for that pull block, hips. All right? The 360, I don't take points off at tournaments if I see people jump and pick their foot up and then clear. I'm not going to worry about that. Is it more impressive to a judge to see someone who can pull this off, to do a full 360 and land it balanced? Yes. But I'm going to watch the rest of the form and figure out whether or not I want to judge one a little bit higher than that. I'm not going to base it all off just that one move. But if I got students that I know can do that, I'm going to challenge them to work themselves to that. All right? Here, as I step and reach for the spear, it's just chest relax, explode, relax, explode, relax, explode. Same thing, all the time. This one here is a great chance, that block, anytime you have these supported blocks like this coming around your body swinging, it's a great chance for you to show your hips, pulling that block across. Here, it's timing, hand foot, 1, 2. Side, side, same thing we talked about in some of the other forms, okay? Here I'm starting from a horse stance, I'm kind of shifting my angle, but I'll do the same thing when I got 2 side kicks coming this way. I'll swing that knee right up against the other one, because my main goal when I'm thinking about side kicks is to get my knee up and in, so my knee can be the thing that pushes that kick straight out. So when they're here, and they're doing those 2 side kicks, that's what I'm watching. I'm watching, is their knee pushing that kick? Is their heel out there in front of everything? Are they pivoted on this bottom foot? Those are all things that we've been working on since white belt level. So I want to know that as they're at this level, advanced brown belt and higher, right? Brown belt, advanced brown belt higher, they're getting close to black belt. I want to know this is something they've worked on trying to perfect. So turn side, reach, X, okay? This X block happens as I lay that back foot down. Since I have my right foot in front in this back stand, My right hand's the one that's going to be in front on that X block. One more thing about those side kicks, especially at this level, I want them trying to stick that out, like I was showing a second ago. I don't want a sparring kick that's just meant to go out fast. I want them to, this is, a form is a chance to show off your technique, your power, your control. This gives you a chance to show off that control. So you're coming here, you're doing the side kicks, stick it in that belly, show your control, show your balance. Stepping forward, like I said earlier when we were doing the cadence version of this, these palm heels are going in. It's driving into someone's belly, not up. So I'm watching for that. Last two moves, high block, punch, nose level, looking for 2 hip rotations. 1, 2. And that's Choong Moo.